Good morning. I'm Peter Milios from the Finance News Network. The Dow Jones Industrial Average climbed on Friday as strong earnings results from some of the biggest banks and companies kicked off earnings season. The 30-stock Dow added 0.33% and marked its fifth consecutive day of gains. Meanwhile, the S&P 500 dropped 0.1%. The Nasdaq Composite declined 0.18%. Both the S&P 500 and the Nasdaq touched their highest intraday levels since April 2022. On a weekly basis, the Dow notched its best performance since March, up 2.3%. The S&P 500 added 2.4% and the Nasdaq Composite gains 3.3%. United Health shares lifted the blue chip index Friday as its top performer. The insurance giant jumped more than 7% after it reported better than expected adjusted earnings and revenue. The company also raised the lower end of its full-year adjusted earnings guidance. United Health was also the biggest gainer in the S&P 500's healthcare sector, which advanced 1.5%. JP Morgan Chase rose 0.6% after its second quarter earnings topped expectations. The bank was boosted by higher interest rates and rising interest income. Wells Fargo inched down 0.3%, even though the bank posted better than expected results. Expectations for this season are downbeat, with analysts forecasting a roughly 7% year-over-year drop in S&P 500 earnings, according to FactSet. That would mark the worst earnings season since the second quarter of 2020, when the S&P 500 profits dropped 31.6%. Investor sentiment has also been lifted by soft inflation reports this week. The latest Producer Price Index report showed inflation rose less than anticipated and built on trader optimism from the June Consumer Price Index data, which came out on Wednesday. Investors are now considering whether a strong economy illustrated by the recent data could push stocks higher by the end of the year. In commodity-related news, miners in Chile are pushing for faster permits and lower energy costs after mining tax reforms. Overall, most sectors closed lower on Friday. Energy was the worst performer, whilst healthcare was the best. The SPY futures are pointing to a near-flat start, down 0.03%. Thank you for listening.